Hi, everyone. Exciting to have you on board during this Expat Café. It's our, almost last one of this year, the 11th one of 2021. My name is Laura Sam. I work for the Rotterdam Expat Center. As you can see here on this picture, this is our lovely office. We started the Expat Café together with Venture Café and really wanted to have a place where expats can still meet virtually in these times we're living in. And the purpose is really about guiding you in different topics. Today we have Tessa from NL Cash, and we will talk about volunteering. But also it really is here for you to ask us questions, to interact. Usually Venture Café is a place where you can meet each other, can meet other experts, but also local people, entrepreneurs. And it's actually every last Thursday of the month, it's the Expat Café. But next to that, every Thursday, Venture Café has a program for you ready. It's always in English as well, so very accessible for internationals, and I can really recommend to you to visit and meet people. For now, it's virtually till end of the year, but also, as you might have seen on the website, they have a program called Remo. So at the end of this session, it's possible to go into Remo, into the digital world, and meet each other there. So for the ones that haven't joined us before and are not familiar with the Rotterdam Expat Center, just a quick idea of what we do. The Expat Center is a one-stop shop for internationals coming to the city, especially when you come here already for a work contract, for your family members, but also if you are a graduate and looking for a job. And we have different pillars how we can support you. So on the one, it's the one-stop shop whereby we have the immigration office in the house with the municipality and usually also a local bank. And there we can help you with getting your residence permit, your BSN, and a local bank account. But next to that, be aware we are really here to support you in finding your way in the Netherlands, especially in Rotterdam region. If you're looking for housing, healthcare, taxes, we might not always know the answer, but we will guide you and introduce you to the right parties. Next to that, we have events such as this we have now, Expat Café. But next year there probably will also come a big welcome event, hopefully, where we can meet all each other. And we especially support also companies when they have questions when bringing their talents in. Before we start talking about volunteering, I here also have an overview for you about what's to do in Rotterdam, what communities can you join. So I already talked about Venture Café. There you can also see the picture of how it looks like usually. There are many different expat communities. We also have a strong female community, such as Female Ventures, International Women's Networking Group. They are still active on Facebook. If you are here to also practice your Dutch, I can really recommend to join Walking and Talking. It's a group, they meet at several locations several times a week. And what they actually do is walking around the city while practicing your Dutch skills. So at the one hand, you learn Dutch, but you also meet other people and you get to know the city. Expat Cinema is also a group whereby you can go to the movies, and it's often very international movies. And the nice thing is the subtitles will be in English, because if you know go to the Dutch cinema, of course, it's always in Dutch. So this can also be more accessible. And yeah, we always mention NL Cash, but here we have even Tessa who will tell us all about it. Maybe just lastly, if you need us, if you have questions, you can always give us a call or email us. And also today at 5:30, I will be present in Remo, so you can come by and we can have a talk with each other. But for now, I would like to introduce our speaker of the month, and that's Tessa from NL Cares. As said, today we would like to talk to you about volunteering what is possible in Rotterdam, where to go, how can you join as an international, and what are the opportunities there. So Tessa, hi, good to have you here. Can you
Hi,
maybe
thank
tell
you.
us more about NL Cares and what NL Cares stands for?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually just recently started working for NL Cares. And for me, it's really exciting. I really like the mission of NL Cares and the work they do. So what we do, we provide a way to do flexible volunteering. We really focus on this flexible aspect of volunteering. So we try to make it as accessible as possible, especially for like young professionals or students who have like a busy and not really like a regular lifestyle maybe, so they can just participate when it's easy for them, like whenever it fits in their schedule. So NL Cares, as a organization, we're on a mission like to empower and inspire people and businesses to contribute their time, skills, and resources. And that way we're addressing like the toughest social challenges that are present in the Netherlands, basically. Yeah, so we believe that lasting social change, what we aim for, is only possible if everyone contributes. So we don't really only want to build on the usual volunteers, but we want to add like a new type of volunteer to the social organizations in the cities that we're operating in. Yeah, we're operating.
Oh, sorry. And in what cities are you active? Because I know you're not only in Rotterdam active, right?
No, we operate in Rotterdam, Utrecht, Den Haag, and Amsterdam. So we're NL Cares is a national organization, so we operate nationally, and then we have teams in each city which work really close together. So I really work close together with my colleagues in the different cities as well. So we yeah, so we tackle the problems together, basically. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, no, go on.
Yeah, we have like 3 main ways in which we are working to accomplish this ambitious mission, basically. The first thing we do is this platform for flexible volunteering. So it's really, it works like a calendar, basically. You can just select a date or a period and see what activities are available in your area. Yeah, maybe we'll get into that more later, as this is also the main thing for expats. It's the most interesting thing we do. So the other 2 things we do, the first is making tailor-made impact programs for companies. So we help companies fill in their corporate social responsibility in their business. So we partner with different companies, and then together we look at how they want to create impact, basically. And depending on that type of partnership we agree on, the employees of the company make social impact by doing volunteer work. And that can be in many different ways, however the company would like to make impact, and also on different themes, whichever theme is most important for them, for the company.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that that also that part is more tailor-made for the company itself. So that's also really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we really work together with the company. We really see it as a partnership. So together we can like create impact. Yeah.
Yeah, and also be aware for the ones that are listening, if you have any questions, also just drop them in the chat so we can ask Tessa all about it. So feel free to also interact in this conversation with Tessa. Sorry, yeah, Tessa, definitely. Go on.
No worries. So the third thing we do, we have yearly events. the first one coming up in December is our warm winter weeks. And during these weeks, it's like the full month of December, we fight loneliness in the Netherlands in the 4 cities we're working on. And yeah, this is a really big event in which we offer like extra activities and activities that are more festive than usual. Like we do all sorts of Christmas themed things with elderly. We make Christmas pieces, we go on winter walks, all sorts of different things. We decorate elderly homes to make it more like festive for the holiday season. And then we have 3 other events in the year. In April, we have the Night of the Volunteer. It's a really big event. Hopefully this year we can really actively get together. That would be so much more fun than doing it online. It's a really great way to meet like-minded people who also volunteer, and we have like special activities as well, other than the ones we usually have on the agenda.
Yeah.
And then we have a sports week in the summer for children to promote healthy lifestyle, and a cleanup in September, where we go and clean the city together with either children or people with a disability. So we clean and connect at the same time, basically.
Okay. Yeah, sounds all like very nice nice initiatives. NL Cares have also. I will share the link in a few seconds also in a chat, so you can have a look, because what I really like about NL Cares is that it's very accessible for internationals and very easy to use. So maybe Tessa, could you maybe explain a bit practical, if an international is interested in enrolling, is he committed to you as a group, or is it flexible work, or how does it exactly work for an international to join NL Cares?
Yeah, so most of our activities are open for like non-Dutch speakers. We only have a few that are like, some of our volunteers help actually in the Dutch classes for expats or others who don't speak Dutch. So those are, you cannot volunteer there if you cannot speak Dutch, basically, but all the other ones are mostly accessible for internationals. Yeah. Oh, that's the link. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then it's clearly stated at the top of the page. But yeah, we really welcome our international volunteers to come and help out wherever they can.
And do you see a lot of internationals joining at the different volunteer work activities? Because what we as Expat Center always say as well is that volunteer work for international specialists also a way to meet people, right? Also in these times we're living in now. Can you maybe, do you see that as well happening in the group when you have internationals coming together?
Yeah, absolutely. I think volunteer work is like the best way. No, well, maybe not the best way, but it's a really great way to connect and to meet like-minded people. But at the same time, you get to go really outside of your usual bubble and really meet other people that you normally maybe not meet. So as well, your colleague volunteers as the people who work in the social organization or the target group itself. So it's at the same time you meet people who are like-minded and people who are really outside of your usual social circle, maybe. Yeah. And at the same time, it can be a really great way to practice your Dutch as well, depending on the activity you do. But if you if you show your willingness to contribute, and you get to meet people who've lived in the Netherlands their whole life, and they really want to do something back, and you can just practice with small conversation, trying to just start learning basic Dutch, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so you can even meet also, I think, because often if you see expat events going on, it's often more that internationals come together with internationals, right? And we at the Expat Center often get the question on, yeah, but I would also really like to meet local people. So I think that actually joining a volunteer group, that there is the perfect match to get to know the locals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have like a mix of expats and local Dutch people who volunteer for us.
Yeah, it's and oh, I see a question coming in. Yeah, that was also one of the things we discussed earlier. So Diogo is asking, how do you currently manage the volunteer actions with Corona restrictions?
Yeah, great question. I guess we're all waiting for tomorrow. I'm not really excited, to be honest. Yeah, so we try to keep all the activities as much as possible on the agenda. And we keep in close contact with the social institution that we work with to see how they how the situation is there. And if we do feel like we need to cancel something, we try to change the activity to something that is still possible. So if we cannot do an activity inside an elderly home, for example, we try to build it to go for a walk with them, go outside, or maybe make the group a little bit smaller so that so that we don't have to be close to each other. So yeah, we try to be creative like everyone else, I guess.
Yeah, so it's really nice to hear that you still will do it. And I think also that probably volunteer work is also still one of the things that you still can do as an international, because let's say we are not sure what will happen tomorrow with the press conference, but we will be more limited. So maybe it's the right timing to even join NL Cares in this period as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we just tried to be as creative as possible. And last year we had like the same issue. So we do have some creative ideas to still create impact and to still connect with each other. And yeah, there's definitely options there for us, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what is it also possible? So let's say I can imagine when you have some internationals, is it also possible to join together, or is it can you register that you come together, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just sign up with your friend or with your friends. We do always have a maximum amount of volunteers that can sign up. This depending on the activity. Sometimes the target group is not big enough for like a group of volunteers. So depending on the activity, you can definitely come together. We make sure that all the activities are for more than one volunteer, so you never have to be alone.
Yeah.
And if you want to do something with a bigger group, and you can't really find something on the calendar itself, you can always email me or my colleagues to see if we can arrange something. So we can maybe organize a different activity or scale up something. Yeah, we really, how do you say, encourage you to come with the group, and we'll definitely make it possible. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have to have certain skills to be a volunteer, or how if you have an activity, will NL Cares be present to guide you? Because I can imagine, of course, let's say you will walk with a group of elderly, they maybe all are Dutch. Is it still accessible for an international? Will you help them if there is a question they don't understand, or how do you guide them in volunteering, let's say?
Yeah, great question. No, there's always a supervisor present. We make sure that the activities do not depend on our volunteers. our volunteers really make sure that more people can join. So if it's, for example, a walk, someone in a wheelchair really needs one-on-one help. So if you come, someone extra can come along for the walk, for example. And there's always someone present, either from the social institution itself, or like a common volunteer who's been there like often. Yeah.
Okay.
So they can guide you, help you, and answer your questions about. Maybe you also have like specific questions about the people you work with. Maybe it's new for you. There's always someone that can help you with that. Yeah.
Okay, that's really good to know, and I think that comforts also knowing that you're not alone when doing something new.
Yeah.
And is there what is maybe the most fun activity would you think, or what would you like in the whole volunteering program you're having?
Great question. I'm not sure. I haven't tried all of the things we offer yet. I'm still working on that. But I do enjoy. I did some language classes for refugees, for expats. I really enjoy that, like sharing knowledge. And for me, it's really fun to meet people from all sorts of different countries, and I can help them in just making conversation in Dutch. So I think it goes both ways. So I really think that's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds indeed. I like the way you're saying, exchanging knowledge, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that goes for most of our activities. Actually, I think it's really both parties profit from it. Yeah.
And one, maybe you already answered a bit, but what I was thinking as well, is it also something you can join with your children, like with your family, to do volunteer work together?
Yeah, definitely. We sometimes, there's actually, I got a request, I think this week, of a family that wanted to do something different for Christmas. So they wanted to come and do some volunteer work instead of their usual Christmas get together. So yeah, they do it as a family activities, basically. We do have a minimum age limit of 18, but if you come with a supervisor, that's totally fine. Did I answer your question?
Yes, of course. Yeah, for sure. It's actually a nice idea indeed, a nice activity doing it together with your family around Christmas time, especially.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Yeah, and as I said, we do have a lot of activities in December. So if you want to join, please do it in December.
The perfect timing, indeed.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. One last question is, you mentioned already many benefits, but what are maybe the most valuable benefits for expats to join a volunteer work at NL Cares?
Yeah, I think we touched upon that already a little bit. It's a great way to connect. It's a great way to get to know your city as well, because you come at different places, different people. Yeah, you get to expand your horizon. Maybe you work with a group of people that you haven't worked with before. Yeah, you can create a network that's relevant for you if you're really into this field of work. Maybe meeting like-minded people. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm not sure if anybody from the audience has some more questions for Tessa. I see time really flies, but I'm really it was really interesting. I myself also learned a lot, and I would really encourage every international as well, looking for connections, looking for helping as well in the city, or get to know the city, because you're in a new country, new culture. I think the doing volunteer work is really the best way to integrate with your local community. Maybe even in your neighborhood, you also have some volunteer work. So I think it's a good way to for sure start with NL Cares and see how it works in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have any last remarks, Tessa.
Yeah, not really. The only thing is that we really try to make it like as accessible as possible, so you don't really have to make a whole profile with just your name and your email address, and you can just show up. And most of the things are like a one-time thing or a weekly thing, just to get into volunteering. But if it's something you want to do on a more regular basis, you're also welcome to join once and get to know the organization and meet up with them if that's easier for you. So we don't really want to be that it only goes through us. We really want to be like a stepping stone to get into volunteering. Yeah. And if you have any question, you can always email me as well.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And thank you so much for being here. It was indeed very informative. And hopefully maybe Diogo and Arun will soon meet you at one of the events. So that was actually already it on the part of volunteer work for today. The next Expat Café is on December 16th. Yes, I just wanted to ask indeed Claire to share the Remo link, because if you would like to talk to each other, connect with each other, or ask me any questions, you can move on to Remo. There it's like a virtual space where you can walk around. It's really cool to see. And it would be great to have a talk there. Tessa, thanks once again, and good luck with all the Christmas sessions, Christmas project you're having. And let's see what tomorrow the press conference will bring, but let's make the best out of it, because I think it's still a lot of things we can still do. So
absolutely, we'll just be creative again.
Exactly.
Yeah.